Lucky Podcast, Onora Boys in the building, brought to you by Onora Whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com. It is that premium American whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com. And if you're going to drink, by all means, make sure you do it. Let's get it. Lucky Podcast. He is Malik ZAIRE. I'm Shaun Davis, SD2 Mics, brought to you by Onora Whiskey and Believe Network. Believe in Notre Dame. Believe in LL. Believe in yourself. YouTube, subscribe, share, hit that like button. It helps with the views. Make sure you leave your comments and questions. We respond to all. Then go over to patreon.com. Players only, the podcast, former Notre Dame players. Patreon.com, lock in, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Once again, Believe Network. Man, we appreciate your support. We keep gaining traction on the audio side each and every day. People are subscribing, locking in. Audio edibles dropping each and every day. We drop 2 pieces today. We'll drop 1 in the morning around 8 o'clock. And then we'll have some more with you. And then always tap into our shorts we throw up on YouTube from previous shows. Man, some funny moments, some real serious moments, some analysis. And don't forget to go over to LuckyLeftyPod.com. LuckyLeftyPod.com for more content, interviews, stories. Oh, man. And don't forget, you can merch it over at LuckyLeftyPod.com. We are the home of the misguided passion, and we are forever committed to making sure that we spin it different. If you have a GTB question or you have a super chat, we appreciate you in advance. Put it in. We'll make sure that we get to it. Left, how you doing today, my brother?
Doing great. You know, I think at the end of the day, one step closer in the off season. I think we're answering some questions. We're getting to the nitty gritty of what this team can be. And just super excited for the spring game coming up.
Once again, the live scrimmage is this Saturday, August the 5th, and then the next Saturday, April the 5th, and then April the 12th, we'll have the blue and gold game live in Notre Dame Stadium. Are you going to be in town for blue and gold?
Yeah, I should be. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Well, LL will be in town April 12th, locked in. I'll be watching from the stands. Left will be watching from the sideline. You know, I don't have that pass.
No, we got credentials now. It's the Marcus Freeman era. We in there.
You know, if Left can sneak me in on the sideline. In all fairness,
gonna be in the LL gear.
In all fairness, Left has always invited me to the events. He's always invited me to the events. And trying to have integrity, having to report. I don't want people seeing me in there with events with players and then catching attitudes and like complaining to the staff, because I already know how they operate.
They gonna do you like Stephen A?
I already know. The last time we were there, you went to the spot, you and K Moore, and you were like, bro, come on, I got you. And I was like, no, I'm good. I'll meet you back at the condo. We'll chill. So you always make me feel part of the brotherhood, man. You always make me feel part of the brotherhood. You know, I just want to make sure, you know, some jealous eyes around there, bro. Some jealous eyes around there, and word travels. So I don't want it to come across like I'm trying to sneak in. I'm like, yo, I was invited, so I don't have to sneak. I actually got the invitation.
How you gonna sneak when you're supposed to be there?
Hey, like you said, Lucky Lefty Podcast, bro. Let's get to it. GTB question. Before we get to John Massey, Lil Tunchi's GTB question, tonight we're going to talk about Chris Ash. We watched his video conference yesterday, video presser, but he also had a presser sit down with the local media. We're going to talk about his comments about the defense, and then we're going to debut a new segment that we look forward to doing each and every Tuesday. Hate it or love it. hate it or love it. We have 10 things that we're going to lay out, and we're going to ask Left whether or not he hates it or loves it, you know. And if Left, Left, I got a little special something for you. So, if you like it, you can go middle of the road. You can say you like it, right?
Okay.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you love it, you know what I mean?
A little song at SD record. Yeah, SD record.
You know, and if you're not feeling it at all,
You should stop
you know what I'm saying? We're gonna have some fun tonight. Hate it or love it. Play along in the chat. Let us know 10 things for the 2025 season. Can Notre Dame break trends? Tonight? Hate it or love it, right here. New segment on the Lucky Lefty podcast. So before we get to Chris Ash's press conference and his comments, Love, 2 more players jumping in the portal on the AL, bro.
I'm hearing about this, and I'm a little worried.
They have 5 scholarship players on the squad now, bro. 5.
How's that possible? There's 15 available on the team, isn't it?
Are you asking me?
How do you have
5 scholarship players currently on the 5 currently.
Who just left? Who left?
Well, you had people that graduated. Koval, the freshman 6'4" center, she jumped in the portal. Of course, Olivia Miles, and then another young lady jumped in the portal. I forget her name. So, then you had people graduate, Centron, and other people. So, brother Maddie Westfall, she graduated. She moved on.
But I mean, that's easy. I mean, now we gotta get players. Building a basketball roster is just different, though. What do you think?
It's a difficult situation, but I think it is an opportunity to reshape the narrative. It's an opportunity. Like I said, look under the hood, inspect everything, question everything, as Marcus Freeman said. She is. Now, this is funny, bro. Remember, we had a conversation maybe a year ago. And I asked you to rank the 3 coaches and who will get the championship first. Remember that? And by a landslide, you were like, oh, Niel's going to win the championship first.
For sure.
And Marcus Freeman was literally in the national championship game this year. And Niel can't get past the Sweet 16. So are you our first hate it or love it? Are you still rocking with your prediction that Niel Ivey out of Shrewsbury, Freeman, and Coach Ivey is the first one to win a national championship?
Yes, absolutely. Love it.
You're still rocking with that?
Love it.
Okay.
Like you said, she's got a lot of to feel, but she has championship DNA. Do the other 2 have that? That's okay. She has championship DNA.
Are you saying that she's won a championship and coached in a championship?
Yeah, both.
Okay.
With an F at the school, not at another school, some way off small. No, she's won in a big time program.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you a question. Though. Moving forward, who has the better roster?
That's like Niel getting prom.
Hey, wait. Answer
as
the
a
question.
freshman and as a senior.
Moving forward, who would you say has the better roster? Niel or Freeman?
right now, or how long? Like in the next 2 years, or what are we talking?
Right. Well, first of all, Mark Freeman's recruiting is getting better. So
Marcus Freeman is killing it right now, but we don't know what Neil's going to get to fill the space yet.
she's gonna have to go to the portal.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She's going to go to the portal, but she has to put it together. Marcus Freeman has it together right now, for sure.
Dude, wait a minute. All right, we're at that point. Duke Life said, give us some time, bro. She's in her 4th season, bro.
Marcus Freeman's in his 4th season.
And he just came from the national championship game, my brother. He went 9 wins, 10 wins, national championship game. Neil Ivy has been Sweet 16, Sweet 16, Sweet 16. Where's the improvement? I think it's fair. It's fair. Where's the improvement?
It's fair to compare to a football coach.
Oh, it's not apples to apples. It's not apples to apples.
Okay.
But I will say it's easier to put a basketball roster together than it is a football roster.
Yes.
You'll keep it a buck.
I think so. That's why I was like, we got to wait to see how she fills the space.
And she had 2 quarterbacks on the court. Marcus Freeman didn't even have a real quarterback on the court.
That's true.
I mean, he didn't have an elite quarterback. She had 2 elite quarterbacks on the court.
And that's why they had the money and the brand deals and all the things going on the.
Just solve the paint. She'll solve the paint. She has to solve the paint.
Yeah.
She has to solve the paint. She might need to look at her staff as well. She might need to look at her coaching staff. I'm just saying she might.
The staff.
She might need to look at the coaching staff.
Not getting the most out of the.
No, she needs to get us some recruiters. Let me see. Did she have? Let me double check, bro. Because the McDonald's All-American games
is on right now.
I'm trying to see if she has anybody committed from the game tonight.
No, the guys are playing right now.
Yeah, I know. Gilbert Arenas' son is out there playing. I'm looking on the East team for the girls. There's 1 girl for South Carolina, 3 girls going to Tennessee, 2 girls going to Stanford, 1 to Kansas, 1 to North Carolina. Go to the West squad. Notre Dame does not have 1 player in the McDonald's All-American game, bro. Not 1. Not 1 player that's playing in the McDonald's All-American game is going to Notre Dame. And Stanford has 3 players, bro. She got some work to do, my brother. I'm sorry. She's got some work to do, bro. And that's no excuse. At this point, that women's basketball program should have at minimum 1 player in the McDonald's All-American game every year. 1 top player. 1 top player. That's at minimum. You really should have 2. So South Carolina has 3. USC has 2. LSU has 2. Tennessee has 3. Stanford has 2.
Dang. You don't have any.
Coach Brooks that left Virginia Tech, he has 2 going to Kentucky.
But that's I mean, that's whatever now because you can transfer portal it to fill
but you can't. We know this through the transfer portal for Notre Dame is not the same as everybody else. Yes, that's not the same as everybody else. It's just not. It's just not. So you have to kill it in recruiting, man. You have to. At Notre Dame, you have to kill it, and then if you can get a couple of extra pieces or 1 extra piece in the portal, well, if that's the case, if they have somebody that was going to be in the game and she tore her ACL, then that means she's not playing next year. So we might as well not even think about Don't even think about her.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be interesting. I just think, and just the
It's tough, man. It's tough. Lucky Lefty podcast. Let's talk about Chris Ash. He was talking about his defensive approach as he met with the media, and Lefty said, just overall, philosophically, as we approach this situation here, I look at it. If it's not broke, don't fix it. And that was really the conversation Coach Freeman and I had about this situation. There's been really good football played on defense. There's been standards. There's been accountability. They've been well coached. Conceptually, we're going to keep doing a lot of the same things that have been done here. Terminology may change a little bit. Some fundamentals may change a little bit. But at the end of the day, the way Notre Dame has played defense is the way Notre Dame is going to play defense in the future.
no, I think what's important about it is just like his integration into just how he can make us better is what is going to take us to the top. And I'm just excited to see where this defense can evolve to under new leadership coming off of such a Al Golden footprint. I mean, he built this thing with Marcus Freeman essentially since Marcus Freeman got here. So that changing of leadership in some aspect is it can go either way. Because Lord forbid Chris Ash isn't the fit that is seamless like we would expect, or it's not as easy for him to go in there and manage it the way he's proposing it, or whatever the case is. Where do you go from there? I think that's something you got to think about. So that change of leadership from Al Golden to Chris Ash, what impact is that going to have? Just as an aesthetic. I mean, yeah, he wants to come in and make us better and fit in, but there was just a different type of leadership with Al Golden, who wasn't a very strong recruiter necessarily. Like, he wasn't trying to win the best recruiter in the nation or nothing, but the other side of the coin, with him being so invested in the scheme, developing, knowing who he has, studying the film. I mean, that means a lot. I mean, it's no different than, maybe not on the same level, but Saban leaving Alabama, who still had really great players for the most part. And then you bring in Kalen DeBoer, who is revered in a lot of respect for how good he is. But still, printing off those type of Nick Saban seasons, there's a transition thing that happens where, you can't do it like Nick Saban. And you get comfortable in that, and you got to go through some weird losses. We had to go through some weird losses with Marcus Freeman. Just him getting, you slip once or twice on the way of building something, but at the same time, that there's a transition phase. So that's why I said our defense is going to take that transition, whether it's the same quote unquote calls or whatever or not, because of that leadership part. So, how fast can Chris Ash get to that point? Because it's one thing to come in if you was an assistant coach, like a D-line coach or a linebacker coach or something, where, okay, I'm hanging with my unit, getting those guys better, but you're the manager of the whole thing. So how do you put your mark on it at the same time or give these guys direction? Because if you're falling in and learning everything everybody else is, what are you adding to the future promotion of how this defense can get better? Because every year is going to be further and further from our goal. And we experienced that offensively with the Tommy thing. Parker running Tommy's offense, it just was holes because it just wasn't Tommy. I mean, only Tommy can call his how he wants it. You keeping that offense to say, "Oh, this is what guys are comfortable with." Well, the guy calling it isn't there, so acting as if you're him or whatever the case is, running his stuff. There's a lack in something. There was a big void. It was like, what are we missing? Like, it was good parts, but it was something that was like, it's not clicking. So let's see what happens.
Let's get to a couple of these G2B questions. ND Milton fan. In the 26th class, are there any recruits from Canada or Connecticut? Those places that have been hotbeds for Notre Dame.
I mean, not in this transfer portal.
Honestly, the closest would be the Peter Bork kid and the wide receiver out of New York.
Yeah, sometimes we just get too cute. We're just too cute recruiting sometimes.
I have not heard of any kid out of the Connecticut area in the 26th class. None at all. Messiah Hampton, the wide receiver, and then who I got JJ knows about him, says he's a really good player. And then Peter Bork, the quarterback out of Massachusetts. Lil Tunchi. Koval and Reach gone. Is anybody left on the girls' team? What is going on? Yeah,
I mean, it's nothing that you have the chance.
I'm sure Muppet is probably going to, sit down and talk to her. It's cool to have Muffin McGraw to kind of as a resource, similar to Marcus Freeman having Lou Holtz and having Coach Tressel for him to talk to in tough times. That's good for Niel to have,
I mean, if you was in Niel, would you be worried? I mean, I would be like, okay, that's easier for me to fill recruiting spaces.
I don't think she's worried about her job. I don't think her job is at risk.
Oh, no. I'm saying worried about the situation with people leaving and all that, and you got all these open spaces. Or having 5 scholarship players.
Well, what did we say last night about the quarterbacks and the wide receivers? There's nothing but space and opportunity.
Right, that's what I'm saying. If I was her, I wouldn't be.
No. And Joe Sheeslack, thank you. I got a bone to pick with you, Malik. Since I started following you, I've gained 20 pounds from all those food posts. Left, you do post some pretty bogus
delectable recipes that families can enjoy.
It's a local spot here that I found on Instagram because I sent you to the ice cream spot out in Cali and you liked it.
You're right.
I put you on the ice cream spot out in Cali, you liked it. So I got a spot here in Chicago I have to check out that supposedly they have an oxtail Philly sandwich. Instead of steak, they use oxtail meat. I was like, all right. Especially if they jerk it up a little bit, make sure it's Jamaican style oxtails. I can rock with it.
Yeah, I might have to try it. Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah, I can rock with it. Let's get Chris Ash was then asked about his philosophy. Now, this is interesting. What's his philosophy regarding Notre Dame's players adapting to him and vice versa? He said, I'm here to become one of them. They're not here to adjust to me. I'm here to adjust to them. The staff, the players, the scheme, the overall culture of the organization. That's what I'm coming to be a part of. This is Notre Dame's defense. This is not my defense. This is Notre Dame's. And I'm coming here to try to help continue the success that they've had on defense and find ways to try and make it better. That's it.
I mean, we can only wait and see. I don't love his sentiments on it only because it's like we would like somebody that's going to push it forward as well. You just want to come in and make us better, but not take us anywhere. That's not I wouldn't think that would be the goal. And I'm sure Marcus Freeman and him have conversations that he's not previewing on these answers either. So it's just kind of like that's what you're gonna get when you've been in those positions and in that profession. You kind of just say the common thing, right? So I'm not super impressed or super disappointed by what he said. It's kind of just like, okay, well, let's just see what that means. All of that to say what? What is that going? Is that going to make us a better defense, or you gonna produce some first rounders, or we scouted better, we fixed our weaknesses? So that's all that sets it up for. So it is what it is.
So I'll be honest with you, and this is a perfect segue to our next set of comments from defensive coordinator Chris Ash. Going back to what he said initially, when he said his conversation with Marcus Freeman was along the lines of, we don't need you to do anything or change anything. Marcus Freeman threw him a lifeline to save him from that atrocity of organization he was in. He threw him a lifeline. He said, you know what, I like you, Chris. And I know you're down there with that organization. It's the pits. I'm going to bring you up to an elite organization, show you how to run things, and we're going to propel you to a real job in the NFL. Marcus Freeman, ladies and gentlemen, Marcus Freeman, man, you're always looking out. You're always looking out.
And what did Chris Ash say? He said he had to take time.
What a humanitarian Marcus Freeman is. He's a heck of a humanitarian.
Chris Ash said it was a hard decision. They had many conversations. It was hard.
Wasn't that hard? Wasn't that hard?
Yeah, many conversations. They had many conversations.
Mrs. Ash was packing. As soon as she saw the area code, she was like, this is the call we've been waiting for. This is the call. Get me out of here. Get me out of here. Get me out of Duval. Get me out of here.
We're a playoff team this year, so I don't.
You haven't been a playoff team for a couple of years.
That's 2 years. That's
a couple. That's a couple, right?
What's that mean? That's nothing.
It'll be 3. Oh. Chris Ash got out just in time. Oh. He escaped the Titanic. That's exactly what he did. He escaped the Titanic.
We're gonna see if he
escaped the Titanic. And speaking of that, he was asked what he learned from that Titanic that was the Jacksonville Jaguars during his time that he can apply to Notre Dame. You can't apply nothing from Jacksonville to Notre Dame. I'm interested in hearing what he said. I'm very interested in reading what he said. However, I can't find anything that I would want to be transferred from Jacksonville to Notre Dame. Not one thing. Not one thing. None. But this is what he said, love. It's all about the players. It's players first. Players over plays and concepts over calls. Well, you need to get a new quarterback down in Jacksonville if it's players over everything, but I digress. And that's really the way we're approaching it right now, trying to make sure that what we do and what we ask the players to do is in the best interest of the player and allows them to be successful and really do a great job of teaching concepts to help them understand the big picture of what we're trying to do. And you can really create a positionless defense when you do it that way. Didn't work in Jacksonville, but okay. And that's kind of what it is. Some of the things that people talk about in college, they still apply to the NFL. Really? It's all about relationships. It's about communication. It's about trust. And if you have those things, whether you're in the NFL or in college, you have a chance to be successful. I'm not sure Jaguar fans even trust their quarterback right now. But go ahead, Lef. What did you think about what Chris Ash said about his time with the Raiders in Jacksonville?
Time out. He's a first-round pick. He was 33-2 in college.
Is he a top 10 quarterback?
He took a team that was rebuilding to the playoffs just 2 years ago.
Is he a top 10 quarterback currently in the NFL?
He's like 10 or 11.
First of all, he's not 10.
If he's not 10, he's 11.
He's not 10. Caleb Williams had a better season than Trevor Lawrence. Look at the stats. Look at the stats.
The stats.
Look at the stats. Look at the stats. Sam Darnold had a better season than that dude.
Sam Darnold. Oh my gosh. Okay. What
Did
is
he
Sam Darnold?
not? Did he not?
What does that have to do
Did
with
he not?
the total?
Did he not?
Sam Darnold's not a franchise quarterback, so it's
I
not the
didn't say
same.
that. Oh, Trevor Lawrence doesn't look like one either.
What do you mean? He's going on his fourth, fifth year.
Looking really bad each year, getting worse and worse. He's already gotten two coaches fired.
No, oh, he got
About to get a
this.
third one.
This is all good because when we're a playoff team and Trevor Lawrence is back in the MVP
Mm-hmm.
conversation like it was 2 years ago, then we're
Yeah.
going to be like, okay, then what? Then what?
Yeah. Yeah. Back to this word salad with him talking about it's about the players. We knew that with Al Golden. You don't have to tell us that. Al Golden said that for the last 2 years. Did he not?
No,
Did Al
yeah.
Golden not say it's about the players, not about the scheme?
Yeah, but the thing is, you got to be able to find the connection between how you're going to get them better. What is the point of you being here if you're not necessarily creating a new defense in the first couple of years? What is that value you're going to add? That's what's going to build the trust factor. And a lot of this too is you guys that are fully committed all in are playing with the purpose of playing for the coach. They understood Al Golden over those years. They understood how he thought and what he wanted to put in and how it worked. How is Chris Hatch going to fit in a model like that? Because he wants to know the players, but what are the players going to know him for? The title? What is he? What is he? You know, and he's still doing a lot of stuff that we may not see or whatever the case is about what the kids receive from him and how they perceive him. But it's just interesting to hear his take on what we know is important, but what is he going to bring that's going to do that if he's not necessarily calling the plays or running his stuff? So are you? I don't know. It's just where is the direction on the defense when you replace the captain with a guy that's saying he's trying to just fit in and understand what's going on, and openly admitting he's running a Notre Dame defense. Is it Marcus Freeman's defense? Is Marcus Freeman going to be making the calls? Because it doesn't even sound like he's going to be calling the defense if he's running somebody else's defense. I mean, I'm not saying that he's not. I'm just trying to understand, he's about the players and developing the players. Well, what about the defense? Well, we're going to run Notre Dame's defense that I wasn't here for last year. But you're the DC. But you're the DC. So who's going to be calling the plays? Mike Denbrock, we know he's going to be calling the plays, but it's also his offense. So are we running Al Golden's defense with a different guy, or like what is Notre Dame's defense? I thought it was Al Golden's defense. I mean his schemes and stuff. So what is the Notre Dame defense? I thought the Notre Dame defense can only be described by like intangibles and stuff like, oh, they're physical, they're fast, that sort of thing. Their style, not Notre Dame defense as a scheme. What is it? I mean, what do we? So that'll be interesting. But I have faith in Marcus Freeman and his hires. So whatever that comes with that, I think that it should work out. But let's not get stuck in trying to develop guys and not have an identity. You can also not have an identity on defense. He's talking about positionless football. Well, how do you coach positionless football?
That sounds like something we hear in the NBA and college basketball,
Right.
positionless basketball. Yeah, I've rarely heard positionless football.
You're like, how do you call a defense like that? If everybody, what are you going to have? A DN drop to safety because he's like, that doesn't sound good because you can't play positionless offense. So how do you play positionless defense? I mean, you got to be skilled in a certain area, I don't know. It's just, am I tripping, chat? Am I tripping to think that him saying all that is like, what is it? It doesn't sound good because we've experienced already what having a coordinator calling another coordinator's offense or side or scheme look like.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
He was asked about what made him come back to college at this time. What made it the right time? He said, "That's a great question. I really enjoyed what I was doing. I was actually
That's
in
right.
personnel down in Jacksonville. I enjoyed that. It was a great learning opportunity. I wasn't looking for another job. Coach Freeman called and we started to have some initial conversations. And I looked at the whole thing. It's Notre Dame. The type of people that come to Notre Dame, players, staff, yeah, they go on to get great jobs in the NFL. I'm sure you did say it's Notre Dame. Obviously, the recent success, the opportunity for sustained success in the future, all of those things together made this a no-brainer for me. It was going to take a lot to leave where we were
Thank
at,
you. Thank
but this
you.
is one of
Thank
those jobs that you just can't pass up. Um, you know what? His father raised him right.
you.
Chris Ash, your dad raised you right, man.
Yeah, is that
You
right?
know how to you know how to be politically correct because you know
Mm,
darn well there's no
mm.
comparison to a job at Notre Dame and a job at Jacksonville. You need to stop. Left, come on, I know that's your squad. Come on, man. Come on, left. If Jacksonville and Notre Dame call Malik Zaire today for a front office job, where are you going? Same pay.
I don't
It's
know.
not that. It's not that hard of a
I don't
decision.
know.
It's
Front
not that
office,
hard of a decision. It's
win a
not that
Super
hard of a
Bowl.
decision. It's not that hard of a decision. You see, if you do right in Notre Dame, you're gonna get a better job than Jacksonville in 2 to 3 years. So why would
What's
you
better?
go
Whoa,
to
whoa, whoa,
Jacksonville?
whoa, 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 whoa. What's the
Why would
better
you go
job?
to Jacksonville
Wait, tell me the better job in Jacksonville.
in the NFL?
Yeah,
Any winning team, any winning organization, you take your pick. It's about
we're
15 to 16 of them.
we're known as called Saxonville. Like we came up with that. What do you mean? That's a playoff
Where'd they get that from? They were watching old episodes of
from the fact
shows
that
on
we
HBO.
no, we were leading the league in
They
sacks.
got that for reading English history. The Saxons is that because it's not from their play on the field.
That's okay. We're a playoff team 2025. Don't even worry about it. But at the end of the day, I think that as much as I would like to see the identity of Chris Ash. I'm sorry. I just want to see the identity of Chris Ash come through because that's what is only going to propel us forward. There's no more Al Golden, which means, to keep running what he did. I just don't think it makes sense when he's not there. I mean, it just unless this is Marcus Freeman's scheme and or whatever may have you, I think Chris Ash should come in and just knowing that the offense has to take the forefront. You got
Mm.
some time to kind of put your roots in the ground. It's like we do everything stubbornly. Like instead of playing the quarterbacks 2 years ago or last year, we wouldn't be in this situation right now. We would feel better about how things are aligned, but we were just stubborn for those 2 years. We were stubborn to change the offense when Tommy left and had some things where it's like this isn't the same. We were stubborn, and then we got a quarterback coach and an offensive coordinator in Denver. So we like to bump our head against the wall until we end up fixing it the right way. So I'll go and leave him, and we're trying to still do his stuff. I don't think it spells good, but I would like to see Chris Ash kind of bring in what he was known for before personnel.
Then he was asked about what has changed in the college game since you were last in it. Very interesting. Well, like I said before, this isn't about my defense. This is about the Notre Dame defense. You don't have to tell us that. We get it, Coach. We we got it the first 2 times you said that. And we're going to continue to do the things that Notre Dame has done on defense. Okay. The game is different than the NFL and what I've been doing for the last few years, but again, I haven't been out of it for too long. The hashes make the game different and the space that's created because of the hashes. And everything you do, you got to make sure that you can eliminate that space and play the RPOs and the release and things that offenses have. But again, it's not my defense that we're going to be running. It's our defense. And
Oh,
that's the way I look at it. Now, see, you know what this sounds like? This sounds like an out. Hey, if things don't go right throughout the year, well, you know what? It's
this is
not my
it's
defense.
our fault.
It's our defense. It's really, it's not my defense.
We've been through this
I didn't
before.
bring my defense. Yeah, I don't. All right. And that's the way I look at it. I'm coming to part of the organization and this defense and this staff.
It's to go along to get along. You know, we don't need you to go along to get along. And I don't. And you're the DC though. You know,
Yeah.
and it sounds disheartening when you say stuff like our defense and positionless defense, and it's like, hold on now, what are we running? What are we running, and who's calling it? Because you're making it seem like you're not calling it, and if you are, and you mess it up, it ain't your fault because it's all of us. And you know,
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know what you're selling. What you're trying? What is he trying to sell here? Is he trying to tell us that we can? You're not running your defense, so what do you just here for personnel? I thought that's why we got Mike Marks.
Mike Martin.
Mike Mark Mike Mike
You said
Martin,
Mike Martin.
you know, to evaluate players and do all that recruitment stuff. You know what I mean? I don't understand. You sound more like an aide assistant than it is a defensive coordinator.
Well, he was asked about recruiting left, and he said, "Boy, we don't have all day. It's completely different. And I'm running, I'm scrambling, I'm really just picking up bits and pieces about NIL, the transfer portal, all of those things, and how it's different, how it's changed. And there's a lot of good things around it as well. I'm learning every single day, every recruiting meeting that we have, the meetings I have with the recruiting staff, just trying to ask questions, gather information, and see how it operates, how everybody operates, and what is truly different about it today than it was 4 years ago when I was doing it."
It sounds like he's an old computer that just got to get updated or something. You know.
New operating system.
Yeah, it's like I gotta
See,
update
you have
my.
to be careful. You see, you can have the operating system for the computer, but the operating system can become obsolete as the
Right.
apps get updated. See,
Yeah.
that's one of the worst things you can do, especially if you're an Apple owner.
You a flip
If you
phone
got
and
a
you trying to get an app.
MacBook,
And
MacBook, iMac, man, if Catalina is as far as you can go, and you're trying to grab one of the new apps, you're stuck. You have to buy a brand new iMac, my brother. You might as well trade it in, and man,
it just doesn't sound like a typical defensive coordinator, new hire type of speech. You know, it's just something's off putting about how community driven and that positionless defense thing stands out to me so much. Because what does that even mean? It means you're gonna have your safety playing D line or what?
that's crazy. D-Mont, Mr. Food Lover, thank you for the GTB question. Of course, it's about food. Left traveling with the Indy football team. Have you ever had Rocky Mountain oysters? If so, would you recommend them for people to try?
I don't know.
Have you ever had oysters, Left?
I have, but I don't know if I would recommend it necessarily. I just think it's a kind of an acquired taste,
Okay.
and it's just hard for me to be like, I'm in a particular city, and I'm like, what should I have for dinner? Oysters would be like 10, 11 choice. It would just be hard to get to the list, you know, get through all the other things. But I've had some before on like trying food type of deal, and I think that I mean I eat it. It's good. I eat it if it's there, but I'm not gonna order it necessarily.
I actually was blessed enough, true story, um, to have shared or tried oysters for the first time in 2005, summer 2005. Um, my dad was golf partners. He played golf with Byron Scott when he was the head coach for the New Orleans Hornets at that time. And they came up for it was at Moody Bible Institute at that time. You know, now they've moved it to Tim Grover's spot, Combine. It wasn't called the Combine back then. But basically, you know, they all the best players would come up. You scout them out, have meetings with teams and everything. Remember, we went to a restaurant. You know, they brought the oysters out. I kind of got punked into trying it left
Yeah,
because they were just kind of looking at me like, you don't, like, dude, you don't like oysters? Like, what's wrong with you? I'm like,
yeah. What's wrong with you?
I'm here for the steak, man. I'm here for the steak. That's all I'm here for. Uh,
All this other stuff is not what I
yeah, I don't care
have my
anything
mind
about that.
set on coming eating no oysters.
Yeah. So I tried it, moved on quickly. Didn't need to try it again. It's all
Oh,
good.
okay. So I got my fix, and I promise I
Yeah.
didn't have
Yeah.
enough in a lifetime.
Yeah. Chris Ash was asked about his responsibilities positional wise and working with the defensive backs along with Mike Dickens. He said, I'm going to walk around and be able to observe all coaches in all positions. Talking about Coach Mickens, he doesn't need my help. That's a great observation. That's a pretty good observation.
Yeah, like
He's
this
a
dude is like, what he's just coming to shadow. He's like, be DC for a day, like just taking it
he's a
all
great
day, and got all access. I'm just gonna walk around and just pick and choose, help out. But what are you gonna do? You know, like what are you gonna do? You talking about he don't need no help. So what? So what? How? Just gonna walk around and just watch him do everything. I don't understand why he would say that.
he's
Yeah,
a great coach.
he's not
He's a
lying.
great
I
he's
mean,
no, he's not lying.
he's not
He's not
lying.
lying, love.
It's good.
He's
It's
not
good
lying at all.
observation. Yes, Mike Mickens probably doesn't need a lot of help, but what are you going to do? Is Mike Mickens gonna call the plays?
It's like
Yeah, it's like, dude, what are you trying to sell us right now? You're not selling. I'm the DC. You're selling like I'm just a helping hand out here, and we should go
he's
back to what Al Golden said when he first came in. Was he talking like this? I'm just gonna go around and help out and
I
pop
don't
my head.
believe so.
See, that's
No.
this, and we don't want to compare, but I'm sure Al Golden has some scheme and different things he was directives and goals he had that didn't sound like, yeah, my guys don't need any help. I don't even know I'm here. I'm just taking it all in, popping my
Yeah.
head in, care about building relationships with players, and it's about the players and going to develop. I mean, because then it begs the question, well, where is it going to come from? Because it's got to come from somewhere. Somebody's going to have to take the reins and be like, this is where the defense is headed, and I'm making the calls, and the buck stops with me. It looks like the buck doesn't stop with him because he's talking about our defense, our team. Everybody's great. Everybody's picks up so much information. I'm just going to ask questions. I'm, I mean, he's not selling me that he's doing anything. It just sounds like he just wants to make sure everybody's doing their job. But I just think that that doesn't help when you're labeled the DC. You know what I mean? Like, I would have the DC be the guy more like Al Golden. I may not do all the recruiting stuff, but I'm here locked in on this on the game plan, on what we doing, on our identity, on who's going to do what to make what happen,
Mm-hmm.
how we build. Like, how do you build on another man's defense that's not there? What are we building on? You know, like I don't know, man. I'm not liking it the more I'm talking about.
Yeah. He said he's a great coach, done a tremendous job coaching the secondary. I've known Mike for a long time, and he does a great job for the players.
So what are you gonna do positionally?
Well, let's get to that. You talked about him saying positionless football. Lucky Lucky podcast. I'm Sean Davis, Malik Zaire, talking about Chris Ash and just tidbits from his conversation with the local media, the sit down that he had with them on Notre Dame potentially being similar to the aggressive 4-3 defense he ran in the past. He said this, Left, through my time as a coach, there are certain things that are important, and it is more about play style than anything else. I don't care if it's 4-3, 3-4, 5-2. I don't really care about any of that stuff. It's about the play style. We want to play fast. We want to play violent. We want to be physical. We want to win at the point of the attack. That's all it's about. We want to play with energy and enthusiasm. We're going to coach, teach, and we're going to practice that way. And hopefully we'll play that way too. So whatever videos you saw, I don't know what years those would be. I probably have a little more gray hair right now than I did back then, and probably a little bit more right here. But hopefully, he pointed to his stomach when he said that, Left. But hopefully the play style comes to light. It's really not going to be hard for me because that's the way their defense or this defense has played. We're going to try to continue that. I'll move on, Left, because you're not like it. Let me try and find something that you do like from Chris.
I mean, what do you think about that?
I told you we got to get this Jacksonville pixie dust off of them. I told you, Left. I told you what it was. I tried to tell you we don't want any of that to transfer. That's what it is. You know what I mean? He was in such despair down there, bro. This is why he's talking like this. His spirit is broken. We have to mend his spirit. We have to mend his spirit. We have to take him around campus and mend his spirit. So we need to have the Father's come and pray for him. You know.
What is Marcus Freeman saying about why he hired him? Did he say like I hired him to that's interesting.
So he's asked, okay, let's get to this. Let's see if this is something that you like, Left. Lucky Lefty podcast, Malik Zaire, Sean Davis. Once again, talking about Chris Ash, his sit down with the local media, talking about his defense and what he's going to bring to the table. And I don't think he said anything yet that gives us an inkling of what he's going to bring to the table. What he's going to bring to the table. Yeah, but he was asked about Notre Dame's defensive personnel and what stands out on tape. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
He said, yeah, pretty much everyone I watched, there's some good players. I know this. Everywhere I've been, I've had good players. I've been a really good coach. So when I was asked about why Notre Dame, well, it starts with the players. There are good players in this program. They've done a great job of recruiting and developing. We've lost some good players off of last year's defense, but there are a lot of good ones back. A lot of guys that play significant snaps. So I'm fired up about working with all of them. There's a lot of traits that they have, skill sets, the mentality, the way they approach their work that really excites me and fires me up about being here.
A lot of good players, but you had a lot of good players everywhere, and you're a good coach. So you're excited because you got good players. I don't know, man. Maybe he's giving us the runaround. He's I don't know. I don't know. I don't think it sounds as good as he maybe think he sounds, but man, that's what's encouraging from that, I guess. What would be encouraging if you're a player hearing that? Oh, he saw it was good. He likes good players. Okay, so I don't know, man. Maybe he has a different relationship with his players than he does with answering questions in the media. Just because it's like, man, you're not giving me nothing to look forward to. Maybe that's the way you handle the media, and maybe you're just a super different character in the building or around the guys, or you know, what did he sell to Marcus Freeman? He said he had many conversations, but about what? So I don't know. I mean, all the context clues isn't making it any better. And maybe the direction of the defense isn't. I mean, I've never seen too many teams that the direction of defense isn't through the DC. Because if you flat out say we're not running my defense or running Notre Dame's defense, then you're not the DC of Notre Dame. I mean, what do you think? Who's the real DC of Notre Dame then? If we're not literally running your defense and you're the defensive coordinator, what responsibility can you really like? I don't know. Maybe the title is holding me up because I've never heard of a defensive coordinator not being, I don't know, running somebody else's stuff. Maybe I haven't been around the block long.
Oh man, some difficult stuff here left. I'm gonna keep it a buck, man. Who stands out on tape? What players? Um, he never mentioned a player, bro. He never mentioned a player. He didn't even mention a position group. He said they
Just
had good players. He said they had good players.
for somebody to be so player focused, you don't name no player, no position group, say they all good. He's got to be just joshing us or something.
Not joshing us.
Seriously,
Not joshing us.
he's joshing us because it's like, dude, we already know we got good players. We had good players for a while. You are so player,
We're
player,
trying to
player,
recruit
player,
and
player.
develop better players.
And you're saying
At this point,
we've developed great players. I mean, you're either noticing the obvious, or it's like, dude, what are you going to do then? If you're acknowledging all these things that we have, what are you going to? Man, that's just so frustrating because it doesn't answer the question of the impact. Like, what was the purpose of the hire? When Tommy was the OC hired, he was even labeled the offensive head coach. At least Tommy acted like it. What did Tommy do? He wanted to hire different position coaches. He called the plays. He was the quarterback coach. He put the I mean, he took control over it. Chris Hatch don't want no control over it. He wanted to make it all about the player. He said, I don't care about a scheme. 4-3-3, 4-4-2. We're being positionless, good players that are developed already, and the assistant coaches don't need no help. I mean, so to sum it up, You're just gonna be a floating information ghost around the facility, just asking questions and checking on guys. I mean, you acknowledge this is not your stuff. Who else acknowledged it was not their stuff they was running? I don't know. Somebody's gonna have to call the plays. The responsibility is gonna have to fall on somebody because they're gonna be like, Chris, if we don't go out there and play top 5 defense, even though it's going to be an adjustment, we're gonna ask Chris Ash, what's going on? Well, this is our defense, guys. So let me pass the mic to Al Washington. I mean, are the defensive coaches going to take turns on talking to the press about what the state of the defense is? I just don't know who the leader is, unless it's Marcus Freeman going to call the defense. I mean, I don't know.
He was asked about the defensive line and the challenges of the defensive line as we get ready to close this segment, talking about Chris Ash, his sit down with local media. What challenges are you going to face on the defensive line? He said in his video press conference that he was pleased and excited about the performance of the defensive line. He said the challenges will be, I haven't been here long enough to be able to answer that question. I really only have been able to watch guys work out a couple of times. I've watched film. I think we have an outstanding defensive line. How deep it is, I don't know. The biggest challenge is to keep the good players healthy. Interior, we want to make sure we have enough guys that we can rotate. But right now, based on what I watched on film and my evaluation, we have a chance to have an outstanding defensive line. We just got to keep them healthy, got to get some guys healthy. It's going to take me some time before I give you an honest answer to that question. Well, he answered it more honestly, in front of the media on camera, where he said that defensive line is a unit he's extremely excited about the way they perform. But I believe they do have to stay healthy.
I don't know. He said if you haven't been there long enough and haven't watched film long enough to know, you've acknowledged that at the end that it's going to take you some time, then what are we talking about? Maybe you're just going to give you the benefit of the doubt, let that time come to pass and see if you can, reprimand these terrible answers that you have. Because this is not, I don't understand what the goal that he wanted to display about himself as defense coordinator. You said you're not real familiar. You're really just getting here. You want to be positionless. You don't care what the scheme is. It's all about the players, but you won't name one specifically. Or you won't name a unit. Maybe it's just a runaround. I don't know. It's just not very encouraging.
Yeah. I think what's going to be interesting for him left is what he comes out, the evaluation for him is going to be very important. I'll have him more under the microscope in the fall. I'll give him the spring to evaluate. I'll give him the spring to evaluate and then formulate and then put into action in the fall.
I'm like, no, it was at Noah Grubbs. I gotta wait till this offense is in another hands. I'm just, before I decide, I'm gonna let it pan out. So I'm excited, but you're absolutely right. You're gonna give him the grace of the spring. You gotta get your feet wet. We're not gonna press the line about it because that wouldn't be fair. But the answer is gonna have to be different by the time fall camp roll around, and we need to start making decisions on depth chart. You need to start making decisions on who's your key players. Because if we're all good, we need somebody great this year, just like we had last year. We had a couple great guys last year. So, I'm gonna let it get together, I guess.
Yeah, I think more than anything, we really have to look deep into what we see in the fall. That's just the difficult thing about it. There's so much excitement coming off of the game that was championship game, and then the access not being what it is something crazy. He was asked about Jason Onye and the transfers. And of course, he said they had been playing well, but another player that he was asked about was Lefty, who played a lot of different roles last year, including linebacker, rover. He said right now, practicing against the Notre Dame offense, we're only getting one personnel grouping. We're getting 11 personnel with 3 wide receivers. Now, you know what? That excited me when I heard him say that, Left.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, you want to know if there were people out there that doubted the offense and where it was going because of Marcus Freeman's background, or just doubting because you say, look, it's Notre Dame. I have to see it before I believe it. Here is the defensive coordinator telling you they're in 11 personnel every snap. That's the only personnel group we work against. We haven't worked against anything else in the spring. That lets you know what Mike Denbrock is all about right now. It lets you know where his head is. He's like, man, look, 11 personnel. Forget all that other stuff. But going on to continue to talk about Jalen Sneed, that's just the way it is because of what they're doing and what they have. As we get ready to prepare for opponents, we'll make decisions on who's going to get out there at linebacker. But Sneed specifically, I love the kid. He's athletic. He's physical. He's got positional flexibility to play inside or play outside. We're going to put him on the field to do a lot of different things.
I mean,
hey, man, Jalen Sneed is a player that has incrementally gotten better each and every year.
Yes.
No, has he reached his full potential yet? I would probably say no, Left. He probably hasn't. But could that breakout year be this season? In a lot of different factors or a lot of different ways? It absolutely could. Absolutely could. Something else he was asked about, Left. I want to make sure we get to it. He was asked about Bryce Young. I'm going to try and pull it up if I can grab it. I just lost it. Basically, he said, I'll paraphrase it. He basically said that Bryce Young does not know how good he is quite yet. And this reminds me of the things that we said when we were talking about Bryce Young having a breakout year. We said when the light goes off for him, then you'll watch out. Chris Ash goes on to say, you don't know when the light is going to go on. It might be next year. It might be at the end of this season. But when it goes off, he's going to take off as a player. He's that talented. That right now, it seems like if you ask him in a group, he'll hold back if you ask about the team as a group. But when you start asking and giving a specific name, now he's more apt to open up.
Yeah.
And really talk about some things. But that's par for the course when we think about Bryce Young. Just the God-given ability is there. It's always been there. We know that. A lot of people know that. And he was asked, who is the emerging leader? He said Drake Bourne as a middle linebacker is probably the front runner for leadership in that group. He controls the communication. He's a guy that obviously the team follows and everybody looks to on the defensive side of the ball. So, once again, stating the obvious, right?
Yeah.
Stating the obvious. Lucky Lefty podcast. All right, so that was just some tidbits from Chris Ash and what he had to say. When we come back, we're going to take a quick break, let you know about LuckyLeftyPod.com and our merchandise. And when we come back on the other side, we'll talk about our 10 for 10. 10 things that Notre Dame has a chance to break the trend. And we'll ask Left if he loves it, if he likes it, or if he's out on it, right here, Lucky Lefty Podcast. We spin it different.
What's up, family? The merch shop is finally here. Lucky Lefty Network merch shop. We got it all. From the shirts to the hoodies to the hats to the nitty gritties. Come here right now. Shop with us. Come get the swag because you know, if anything else, we spin it different. You see the gritty. You see how we get down. It's elite.
You wrap me up in the color of love. There must have been an angel.
Lucky Lefty Podcast, Malik, ZAIRE, Shaun Davis. Believe Network, tap in. Believe in Notre Dame, believe in Lucky Lefty, believe in yourself. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, we thank you for everyone. We keep seeing people lock in each and every day. Downloads are getting higher each and every day. Thank you for your continued support. Dropping audio edible and every day. Thank you for subscribing to YouTube. If you haven't already, go do it. Hit the thumbs up. It helps with the views. Leave your comments, questions, because we respond to all. If you have a GTB question, we'll get to it. Super chat, we'll get to it. First segment, we talked about Chris Ash, his conversation about the defensive side of the ball. Now we're about to talk about the 10 for 10. But before we do that, there was something that came out courtesy of CBS Sports. And then Greg McElroy, I might have to put him on the petty train left. But let's get this top 10 returning players in all of college football. Top 10 returning players in all of college football left. And oh man, you ready for this, man?
I'm ready.
This might make a lot of Dame fans upset. Let's get it. Top 10 players returning in college football. Number 1 is Jeremiah Smith. Number 2, Caleb Downs. Number 3, middle linebacker Anthony Hill from Texas. Number 4, Cade Klubnik. Number 5, Garrett Nussmeier. Number 6, Arch Manning. Number 7, Dylan Stewart from South Carolina. Number 8, Sam Levitt from Arizona State. Number 9, TJ Parker from Clemson. And number 10, Jeremiah Love. Now, first of all, Cade Klubnik, come on, man. Cade Klubnik is higher than Jeremiah Love. Garrett Nussmeier is higher than Arch Manning hasn't taken a snap. This list is ridiculous, man. I'm sorry, my brother in Christ, Brad Crawford from CBS Sports. We have to put you on the petty train.
Yeah, he must not watch enough football.
Yeah, I have no clue. That is absolutely ridiculous, bro. It's almost like he forgot about Jeremiah Love when he was making the list and was like, oh, man, let me put him at 10.
I mean, Garrett
Nussmeier. Come on, man.
Surprised if you got a list this bad, you might as well put Drew LR on there.
Garrett Nussmeier, bro.
You don't have none of the Penn State running backs on there, nothing?
None of them.
Hey, Klubnik.
That's ridiculous, bro.
College football bad shape. That's the case.
Lucky Lefty Podcast. Oh, it gets worse. Oh man, I really respect Greg McElroy, left, because Greg McElroy last year I think was one of the fairest. He's one of the analysts that was really fair to Notre Dame in its assessment of Notre Dame throughout the season.
He got a little crazy in his words. I'm not gonna lie.
But today, he might have gone off the rails in his analysis of a certain quarterback for Notre Dame.
Yeah, media must have been slow today.
Steve Angeli thrust into action against a ferocious pass rush in Penn State and one of the best defenses in the country. I saw Steve Angeli go into the lineup and just methodically, right down the field, accurately carving up a defense. Who's to say that Steve Angeli's ceiling, when the real lights are on, isn't outrageously high? We've seen him make one start, and it was a couple years ago. What if, when we fast forward to this year, Steve Angeli has some awakening, and all of a sudden he's the second coming of Joe Burrow? You remember now, Joe Burrow at Ohio State was just a guy. In his first year at LSU, he was just a guy. Well, Steve Angeli, up to this point of his career, solid, just a guy. But maybe there's another level in there that we just don't know about. Because when the game flipped in Joe Burrow's final season, when he got a chance to run an offense that was built for him, look what happened. Maybe that's in there for Steve Angeli.
Oh, goodness. I mean, he played one drive. Didn't he fumble in that appearance too?
Yeah.
It wasn't like he was just, I mean, listen, he filled in and played big in that moment, big enough to keep us afloat. You know, you're talking about one drive. We don't know what Abdul Carter would have looked like with Steve Angeli back there all game. So I appreciate Greg McElroy just giving Steve a vote of confidence, but I mean Joe Burrow, come on,
Yeah, the Joe Burrow comp is where you lost me, because I'm all about incrementally improving and development, and seeing a better version of Steve Angeli. Ooh, the Joe Burrow comp though,
just doesn't do it for me. Doesn't do it for me. On top of the fact that Joe Burrow played the full season before the next year, and he had 2 first-round receivers.
yes.
It's like, all right. Now, you know, you do with that what you want. I think Steve's got some talent. He's played consistent enough to say he should start, but in those same moments, he never showed me any talent that I thought was just next level, top tier, first round pick of the draft. I just saw a guy that can manage, take advantage of some open things, and not turn the ball over. I mean, good grief. You can get a far ways if you just don't turn it over.
Yeah. I don't know, bro. That is that's a bold take, man. Like, whatever information he's getting from inside the athletic center that allowed him to feel comfortable enough to say that. Sheesh. Oof. Yeah,
It's
that's
just
tough, man.
you know, and you don't want to take anything away from Steve. Just give Steve the credit for not losing us the game necessarily, you know.
Yeah, I guess so, man. I just don't see that high ceiling that maybe he talks about, and I don't know who his comparison was for that high ceiling, because it's definitely not. I'm sorry, I don't see Joe Burrow. Maybe, if I'm being fair, maybe he can be AJ McCarron. Maybe he can be a Colt McCoy. Maybe.
I think we've seen Steve's potential, honestly. I think we've seen it.
You think that's it? We've seen it?
Yeah, I think we've seen it, and it's just more of like, you know what you can get with Steve. You can win you 9 or 10 games with Steve. That's the bottom line. But that's just the position that the Notre Dame quarterback is in this era, is we need a guy that can win 14, 13, 15 games. Now that's top 5% of college football quarterbacks,
Yeah.
but that would be the breath of fresh air. That would be the step everybody would agree we would have to take,
Mm-hmm.
because we've been for so long. On a positive note, we've seen 10-win quarterbacks,
Yeah.
12-win quarterbacks, 11, 10. We've seen that. We've had that. We've been spoiled with that. Steve's a 9, 10 game guy. That's just who he is. We know that because of a talent thing. He doesn't have the elite talent that can give you the potential of winning those 14, 15 games.
Yeah.
We just think that Kenny and possibly CJ can do that. And this is their prove it years. I think that's why I spoke so highly of why Steve needed to play 2 years ago. 2 years ago, because it's like, dude, like the window. I kind of want to see if those other guys can be 14, 15 win guys. I just feel as though in the coaching staff, especially the way they played you out for so long, they probably knew you was a 9, 10 win game guy. And that says a lot in the college football space. But at Notre Dame, we're trying to win the thing. We're one of the few teams that can possibly win it every year. So, but if Steve went to Illinois,
Hey. You choose another team. You didn't have to choose Illinois. Choose Missouri. Choose anybody else. Shout out to Drew Pine. Transferring again. Shout out to
you. Got another year?
I guess so, dude. I guess so. He's going for his 4th team. I'll take Steve Angeli at Illinois. I would.
Or would you take Drew Pine?
Lucky Lefty podcast.
Said he hopped in that portal now, right?
Hey, Left, it's time for like it, love it, or shove it right here. Like it, love it, shove it. Look, we're going to ask Left some questions. If Left likes it, if he loves it, we're going to hear some sound come across. It's going to sound a little bit something like this, Left, if you like it. Now, if you just like it, it's kind of middle of the road. If you shove it, like. All right, you got it, Left? Let's get to it, man. Last segment of the night. We're going to do this each and every Tuesday. Notre Dame related, recruiting related, and definitely college football related. A little bit of life and music every now and then. This year, or this tonight's show, the theme is Notre Dame trends. Will Notre Dame be able to change or break trends based upon 2024? And we're starting with Notre Dame's leading receiver had 42 receptions last year, Left. 42 receptions, and that was Jaden Greathouse. Love it, like it, shove it. 60 receptions by the leading receiver from the Notre Dame offense this year. 60 receptions by the leading receiver.
We boosted to 70.
I just gave it 60, bro, but does it change your answer?
I love it.
All right, so why do you love it?
I love it for the reason that, you got to have somebody in that range if you're getting 3,500 plus yards.
Mm-hmm.
We're not settling for a quarterback throwing for under 3,000. It's no longer happening. We're not happy with it. So to get more yards, we're going to have more receptions. And our leading receiver, which should be a focus, because we're not the defense. We got hierarchy. We got depth chart. We got 1A, 1Bs, and 2s and 3s. We're not doing this everybody good thing. We need the best guy is going to get the ball more consistently and trusting that Denbrock knows how to handle getting the ball to receivers, we should have a lead horse. And that guy should identify that through the numbers of having the most receptions. And it should be in the 70 range. You got to turn your mic on.
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, I can love that. I can throw a little love that way. I can love. I don't know who it'll be. I don't know if it'll be Great House. I don't know if it'll be Malachi Fields. But I can love a player getting up to 60 receptions. Heck, Jaden Greathouse could have gotten up to 50 if he didn't have the drop passes early in the season. So,
I think he'll have less drops this year, though.
Yeah, I agree with that. We're going to stay with the receivers, Left. Leading receiver had 592 yards last year, Left.
Oh, my gosh.
Leading wide receiver had 592 yards. Of course, that was Jaden Greathouse. Love it, like it, shove it. Notre Dame will have a wide receiver go over 850 yards this year, Left.
I love it.
Why do you love it, Left?
Definitely love it just because if you got the 70 receptions, you should be a high production receiver, and the way Denbrock likes to throw the ball down the field, give guys opportunities, but also balance it with screens and different things just to get the playmakers the football. Jeremiah Love is going to have a big chunk of yards, but there's going to have to be 1,000 coming from somewhere, and I think it's going to be less from the tight ends, not on a bad thing, but just on the sense that he majors in throwing it to the receivers. He was at Notre Dame as the receiver coach. There's a strong connection between his love for getting he had Will Fuller. He loved Will Fuller. That was his boy. So I think he wants to make that connection in his own mind. Probably what he thought about when he came to Notre Dame was like, before I was just a receiver coach that was sharing responsibilities. Now I can be the OC to take over the whole thing and really activate it how it should be. So over 850 yards, I mean, hell, that's chump change for Mike Denbrock, who produced 2 first-round receivers on the same team.
Let's go to the defensive side of the ball, where 90 was the number, 90 tackles from Jack Kaiser, who led the team last year. Love it, like it, shove it. Notre Dame will have a 100 tackle defensive player. A defensive player will get 100 tackles next year for the Fighting Irish defense. Love it, like it, shove it.
Shove it.
No.
You should stop front, babe.
All right. You shoving that?
Yeah, I think it'll be a shared production. We don't know who that guy is going to be yet, because remember, it's a bunch of good players. So I'm going to trust Chris Ash that there's a bunch of good players and not a great one yet. And when that great one appears, I would like to think that he would have something like that. But it's too early to tell from hearing from the reports so far.
Yeah. Go over to luckyleftypod.com. We'll have our message board launching. We already have our editorial side, the stories up, shows up. Some interviews are going to be posted starting next week, and then we'll get our message board going. It's going to be a free message board going for you guys to start off going into the season. Go over to luckyleftypod.com to check it out. We go from the linebackers to the running backs. Left. Leading rusher last year was Jeremiah Love, of course, with 1,125 yards. Love it, like it, shove it that a Notre Dame running back will get 1,250 rushing yards next year.
I'll say shove it. I mean,
You should stop front, babe.
You want to shove it? That's only 125 yards for J-Love.
man, after the crime that we committed with 4 carries to our best player in the national game, we clearly aren't concerned about, getting numbers like that. So for one individual player, I think it'd be 900, 800, but a bunch of different ancillary stats to build it up some. But it's just, I mean, we don't commit to nothing offensively yet, or I haven't seen it yet. When we committed to something last time was probably our tight ends, and that's because he was trying to break a record. Other than that, it's shared responsibility. So, I mean, it would be nice, but he would have to do it on the smallest amount of carries, which he can, but that's just a tall task to just say, I like it.
I would probably rock with liking. I would give it a chance. I wouldn't love it because I do think, but Jawan Sider did say Jeremiah Love needs to be on the field.
Yeah, but they got him at receiver. They got him,
He did say on third downs, Jeremiah Love needs to be on the field. So I don't know what capacity. I don't know if that's rushing.
Put him where you put Jordan Faison on third downs and then bring Jadarian Price in. I think you got something.
Yeah, that could be the case. It's going to be interesting. It's definitely going to be interesting to see how they use him. Because I think he has a chance. Like I said, he had a level 25. He might have picked that up if he didn't get hurt against USC. He might have bossed another 125 in that game to end up with 1250. So it's a pretty good shot, man. Pretty good shot. Let's go to the defensive line left, where Riley Mills led the team with 7.5 sacks. Love it, like it, shove it. Notre Dame will have someone equals 10 sacks. They will double sacks this year. Love it, like it, shove it. Got to break the trend. Let it break the trend. Love
I like it. I like
love it. Oh, you like it? All right.
I just don't know who it's going to come from, but if we're so player focused, that individual stats need to take an uptick, and I like it because with all the talent, guys coming back, guys getting healthy, they have a lot to prove. I know that we would have a easy indicator of an improving D line with a double-digit sack guy. So that's why I would say. But double-digit sack guys are also tier 1 guys. So what tier 1 guy do we have on the defensive line that we know? There's a lot that we think, that we don't know any that are doing it right now because they're all good players.
Let's go to the secondary. Xavier Watts led the team with 6 interceptions. Notre Dame will have someone in that secondary that's still elite. Tally 6 interceptions, just like Xavier Watts. Love it, like it, shove it.
I love it. Well, Leonard Moore is getting offered $4 million big ones. Christian Gray put on a great performance last year. The D line with a 10+ sack champion with more production from them is cooking up for ingredients to have a guy have a good chance of having a high number of picks. And I'm encouraged by it because I think that Mike Mickens and Mickens we trust, and the fact that we're still going to play man, I think it's going to give us a higher percentage of getting some of those 50-50 and just opportunities to make plays.
I can rock with that. Yeah. I'm going to say Leonard Moore. I actually think Christian Gray, who dropped, he could have had 6 interceptions last year if he just didn't drop.
Yeah.
In easy 3 to 4 early in the season. He was
the Army game, he dropped one. The Navy game,
he dropped one at Texas A&M. He dropped one against Louis. No, he didn't play against Louisville. I think he dropped one. He definitely dropped one against Purdue.
Oh, draw one against
He had
Purdue.
about 3 or 4 in his hands. Now, the Notre Dame secondary had 19. Well, Notre Dame as a defense had 19 interceptions. Love it, like it, shove it. Notre Dame will have 20 interceptions next year. 20 interceptions. Love it, like it, shove it.
I go like it.
Okay.
I like it, just don't love it. I think
Mm.
if they're doing all these numbers, then we're top 5 again and got better than last year. And I just think it's way too early to tell. But if everything goes how we're supposing it works out and shakes out through guys getting older, recruiting getting better, the personnel being developed, how everybody is speaking about, we should be in shape for that. But we still got to come together under a new defensive coordinator, so it's going to be interesting. But I like it. I just don't know.
Okay. We go to the offense side of the ball. We have 3 left. 2,861 yards, passing yards through the air for Riley Leonard. Love, like, shove. The Notre Dame starting quarterback throwing for 3,500 yards next year.
Love it. You got Denbach as offensive coordinator, and these quarterbacks can technically and fundamentally throw better than what we've had. And I think they got a little bit more juice to them. The offensive line that can block, so now it's just a matter of getting open and catching the football.
Yeah, I think that connects to our first love, like, shove with the receptions and the reception yards in the wide receiver room. If you're saying that, then they definitely should have someone hit at worst 850 yards receiving, even if it's not
worst,
six.
right?
At worst,
At worst,
somebody should be able to eclipse that 850 yards, and hopefully somebody can get up to 60 receptions on the year. Let's close it out with the last 2 left. 136 yards per game given up on the ground last year as the defense, 42nd in the nation. That hurt us against Ohio State. It definitely hurt us early against Penn State, right? Injuries, of course, were a huge part of that with the defensive line. Love it, like it, shove it. Notre Dame will hold teams to less than 100 yards per game on the ground in 2025.
I love it.
Okay. I have to give you a double dip for that. Double dip for that. That's a long odd there to go from 136 to under 100.
Well, I think because of the depth and focus that we've had on the D line and controlling the line of scrimmage being so big, I find it that teams would be hard, especially if we're doing things similar to last year with us creating pressure and coming after the quarterback. We're going to be stuffing the backfield pretty heavily. So it's just a matter of, are we going to tackle better in space? And I think those young linebackers who are great tacklers are going to be able to clean up anything that gets through a defensive line that's expected to be one of the better units on the team. When you have 8 D linemen in the interior, you got countless guys coming back and countless talent that's still showing. So it's just going to be very important for that to activate, and that you can tell is activated by looking at those rushing yards. If we can knock that down to 100 or below, I think it will signify that Marcus Freeman addressed the issues in recruiting, and we've made the steps to make that from a weakness to a strength.
That's a tall task, man. 36 yards per game in one season is a huge jump. And I know that Chris Ash loves the defensive line in the comments that he made last week.
Yeah, so I think that may be his calling card is to activate that defense.
Now that would be great.
That would be great. If you don't do nothing else, if you got the most out of that,
You're bringing something to the table. That
we
if
didn't
what you
have.
bring to the table, yes. If that's what you bring to the table for all of this is their defense.
And don't go
Notre
join
Dame defense.
You're right. Mike Biggins got it. You join in the best unit on the D. No. Go to where the D line is. What they say, Jesus don't go preach to the people that got it all. He go preach to the lower half.
The ones that need.
He goes to exactly. So go
to the greater need. Yeah.
Don't go to where everybody already kicking it and producing first rounders and award winners and all of that. No. Go feed the D line. Get that better.
If you have a love it, like it, shove it question or topic, man, go ahead, put it in the chat. Put it in the chat for us, man. We would love to get to it. You put it in a super chat form, we'll get to it a little bit quicker. One more for the night as we get ready to close. Been a great show left. Notre Dame gave up 25 sacks last year as an offensive line. Love it, like it, shove it. Notre Dame will give up less than 20 or less sacks this season with that improved offensive line. 20 or less sacks this year with that improved offensive line.
I like it.
Oh, you like it?
Well, you got Steve, who isn't very mobile, and we saw that the team is getting after it. He's not going to add any variance of getting out of jail free, if time's needed. And then Kenny being a playmaker more so, he's going to take more chances, which might cause a few more sacks. But conversely, could be big plays when he's holding on to the football. And then CJ wants to be a little bit of a playmaker as well, but I don't know how athletic he is or mobile he is in the heat of pressure where he needs to avoid to get the ball down the field. So three quarterbacks have strengths and weaknesses, and I think that's what will determine it, not so much the offensive line not being up to standard or not.
Yeah. I'm feeling that. I'm gonna be honest with you, Lef. I think I would probably say first-time quarterbacks. For me, you know what? Yeah, I'll go like it. I'll definitely go like it. I'll go like it. Geno Williams, he says, love it, like it. A wide receiver with 1,000 yards receiving in 2025. 1,000 yards. Until I see it.
Until I see it.
Yeah. Until I see it. Nah. I'm not even gonna go close to that 1,000 yards. 850.
850, yeah.
I can rock with that. Lucky Lefty podcast. Somebody sent me a message, Left, and said that we need to watch something that just happened in Atlanta tonight. Didn't go well. Halftime, they have these contests where people come in and they have to shoot the three-pointer, the free throw, all of that to win money, this, that, and other. So let's check it out, man. See who we have to put on the petty train. Thank you for LL Nation for alerting us to.
Why they put on the big jumbotron looking crazy?
Wait, I'm not laughing at the guy. Shamia, for those of you, Shamia is actually one of the main characters on this season of Housewives of Atlanta with Portia Williams. That's her best friend. Of course, my wife is into it. That's why I know everybody. So, wait a minute. Someone sent this to me and was like, oh, man, you got to put this dude on the petty train. And I'm like, all right. Shamia might have to be put on the petty train.
She had to stop the dude from still playing.
Yo, she had to stop him. Dude was like, I'm winning this.
I'm winning this easy.
Wait a minute.
And then they are ready for the take 5-ball change tic-tac-toe game. Now, this is a basketball game, so we had to add some basketball.
You know how unathletic you have to be.
In order to get a game piece.
Tear your ACL on a layup.
Left, right here at this moment, there's no way he's thinking I'm about to tear my stuff up. I'm just about to rip my stuff to shreds. There's no way. That's the last thing on his mind, dude. The last thing on his mind.
Rehab. He's not thinking 6 months rehab.
No. And then, dude, did he come on a date? Was he there with a shorty? Did he do this in front of a shorty?
No, if he did this for the shorty, that's hurt worse.
It's so many.
That hurt worse than the ACL because you already took it to dinner, probably.
Oh man.
So you thinking your night finna end the right way, and you got on the court.
Oh, man.
Oh yeah, you thought it was gonna go totally different.
And my man Vert, how do you tell your ACL when your Vert is like 15, bro?
You have to be supremely unathletic.
Left. My man's Vert was basically nothing, bro. Bro, what was he pushing off on?
Oh no! Like she trying to play it up like he gonna get up. He ain't getting up.
Hold on.
Oh.
Okay, we're petty because right now we're laughing and we're not laughing. Oh man.
She talking about, hold on now.
Shamia, bro. God. That's why I said we have to put Shamia on the petty train because Shamia is the worst right now.
They put Buddy on a jumbotron. Doesn't imagine your date looking up at the jumbotron, seeing you like this. You was just hyping her up, talking about you finna win this money.
You're probably holding the ball, looking at her like,
yeah. This. And she look up at the jumbotron, and you like this on the floor.
Now, see, first of all, let's look at the sneakers he's at. See, the shoes looking real questionable right now. Left.
Lord,
it looks like low cuts. They look like low cuts.
Man, this brother is in real pain. Face on the floor. He don't care nothing about the crazy thing. I can only imagine the jumbotron cameraman standing over him.
Oh,
they're not paying this brother. He gets this is for free now. This is for free. He's not on the Atlanta Hawks where he gonna get compensation, rehab. They gonna no. He gotta go home like this.
Man. See, this is why I retired.
I would sue. I'm suing. How I slip like that.
Suing who?
The floor. They got it wet spot.
How you gonna sue the floor?
I'm suing the whole arena.
You're suing the Hawks.
I'm suing the Hawks. First of all, you got me on the jumbotron like this. I'm suing you for emotional damage. I'm talking about, let alone I fall, let alone she gassing it. Talking about, hold on, and you got the jumbotron.
The producers did say, "Yo, put it
up." They don't do this to players that get hurt in the regular game. They don't do this. They don't stand over you and film you.
Oh man! Wait, let's see. Wait.
Look at him. He on the jumbotron. Don't lay down now.
Shamia, it's not really a fair game at this. Shamia was the worst. Shamia made it worse. She made
it like it was on her. Just
She's like, I don't even know what to say.
Yeah, just acknowledge.
I don't even know what to say.
Like, get me off the camera.
Yo, let me tell you something. Go to an Atlanta Hawks game because you know the PA person is Big Tigger.
Yeah,
Big Tigger is the PA guy that usually does 4-3. That's Big Tigger. Shamia does the halftime entertainment. Bro, oh man, that's the way to end the show. Lucky Podcast. Lock in with us next Tuesday. We can announce it. I got to go ahead to announce it. Miles Boykin will be with us next Tuesday night, right here, Lucky Podcast.
Mr. Boykin,
and we're gonna play a little "Love It Like It Shove It" with Miles Boykin. and talked to him about the wide receiver room and what he thought about last season. And he might. I talked to him today. Left. He might soon be a Chicago Bear.
Mm.
Yes, sir. Playing for the hometown squad. So I told my boy I was gonna pray for him. Told him I was gonna pray for him. You're going to the right squad. Well, you're going to the right squad. Real quarterback play. Not like down there. And your team has to be named after a defensive stack. Jacksonville. That lets you know. That lets you know that the rest of that squad is trash. Lucky Lefty Podcast for Left SD2 mics. We'll see you guys tomorrow right here. Lucky Lefty Podcast. We spit it different. We'll see you guys.